You've been waiting on someone to believe in you, support you, push you, validate you. But let me tell you something, no one is coming. The moment you stop counting on people to rescue you is the moment your life begins to change. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You need to decide right now that you are the one who leads, the one who builds, the one who finishes. Because when you own your power, you stop hoping and you start creating. This is your wake-up call. Stop counting on people. Start counting on yourself. There is a silent killer of dreams that most people never see coming. It doesn't show up as fear or laziness. It doesn't even feel wrong at first. In fact, it can feel comfortable. It can feel supportive, but it's poison. And that poison is dependency, the subtle habit of counting on other people to drive your life forward. When you start relying on someone else to wake you up, remind you of your purpose, validate your ideas, or keep you accountable, you are handing over the steering wheel of your future. You are trading power for comfort. And what happens when that person leaves? What happens when they don't answer the phone or they move on? They simply can't carry you anymore. You stall. You crash. You lose momentum. And momentum is everything. Because once it's gone, getting it back costs more time, more energy, and more emotional toll than you can afford to keep paying. Dependency is easy to justify. You might say, I just need some help. Or I work better when I'm supported. Sure, support is valuable, but the line between support and dependence is dangerously thin. Support is a bonus. Dependency is a liability. If someone helps you and you're grateful, that's beautiful. But if someone doesn't show up and you collapse, that's a weakness you must fix. No one is coming to push you up the hill every day. No one can want your goals more than you do. No one should be carrying the weight of your dreams more than you. The more you count on someone else to do the work, the more you weaken your own engine. If you've ever said to yourself, I would have done it if they had just supported me, then you've already lost a piece of your own power. We live in a world where being self-sufficient is becoming rare. There's an entire culture of outsourcing effort, waiting for mentors to validate you, for friends to clap for you, for partners to motivate you. But here's the truth, success isn't built on what others do for you. It's built on what you do for yourself when no one else is watching, when no one else believes in you, and when no one else is offering a hand. Greatness starts the moment you stop counting on people to make you feel ready. Readiness is not a feeling, it's a decision. If you wait for people to reassure you that your timing is perfect, you'll be stuck in the waiting room forever. Progress doesn't need permission. And the more you rely on people to pull you forward, likely you are to stay stuck whenever they're unavailable. People will come and go, emotions will rise and fall, motivation will fluctuate, but drive, the kind of internal matter, what commitment to your goals is what you must protect above all. Drive is born when you take full responsibility for your outcomes without giving anyone else the credit or the blame. Drive grows when you stop asking for constant encouragement and start delivering results whether you feel inspired or not. Some people wait for someone to believe in them before they begin, but the truth is, belief begins with you. That fire inside, that's not built by applause, likes, or outside validation. That's built every time you show up without needing a cheerleader, every time you push forward with no one watching, every time you move one step closer to your purpose. Not because someone told you to, but because you've decided that you're done waiting. Make no mistake, relationships are powerful. Community is powerful, but those are not your foundation. Your foundation is built on the promises you keep to yourself. And if you break those promises every time someone else doesn't show up for you, then you're not leading your life. You're borrowing it. This is the wake-up call. Stop outsourcing your motivation. Stop needing someone else to believe in your vision. Stop delaying your progress because you're hoping someone else will push you. Learn to become the driver, the initiator, the one who doesn't need to be reminded, because you've already decided that you're not turning back. Your goals are your responsibility. Your growth is your duty. And your destiny is not a group project. It's built in the dark. When it's just you, your discipline, your decision to never again wait on anyone else to get moving. You don't need to be pushed. You just need to decide that your life matters too much to be driven by anyone else. One of the most damaging beliefs you can carry is the quiet hope that someone someday will come and rescue you. Maybe it's the belief that someone will finally recognize your talent and give you a shot. Maybe it's the thought that one day the right person will show up with the right opportunity at the right time and everything will change. That belief is not just false, it's dangerous. It creates passivity. It trains you to wait when you should be working. It convinces you to pause when you should be preparing. This illusion of rescue is subtle. It doesn't scream at you. It whispers. It hides behind good intentions. It makes you feel like you're being patient, like you're being faithful, like you're just waiting for your turn. But life doesn't reward waiting. It rewards movement. The longer you wait for someone else to fix it, to guide you, or to elevate you, the more time you surrender. And the truth is, nobody is coming, not in the way you imagine. No one's going to burst through the door with a perfect plan for your life. No mentor, no coach, no partner, investor is obligated to come save you from an action. If someone does help you, that's a gift, but gifts aren't guaranteed. And banking on that gift is like planning your future on a lottery ticket. Yes, people can help you. Yes, connections matter. If you think the real turning point in your life will come from the outside, you've already given up the greatest weapon you have, your own ability to move regardless of what others do. Too many people waste their years waiting to be picked. They wait to be chosen, to be noticed, to be validated. That's not how growth works. You don't get picked. You pick yourself. You don't get given permission. You take initiative. You don't wait for a lucky break. You build a relentless work ethic that creates opportunity where there was none. Here's what happens when you believe in the illusion of rescue. You start negotiating with time. You say things like, maybe next year it'll happen. Or, once I meet the right person, everything will change. But time doesn't owe you a breakthrough. The world isn't required to rearrange itself just because you have potential. The people who break through are not the ones with the best timing. They're the ones who built their own door when no one opened one for them. You must realize no one is more responsible for your rise than you. The longer you wait for the call, the promotion, the invitation, the recognition, the more power you drain from your own hands. The harsh truth is the moment you stop preparing because no one's watching is the moment you declare that your growth is conditional. Conditional growth never leads to unconditional greatness. When you internalize this truth, something shifts. You stop waiting and start building. You stop hoping and start executing. You stop dreaming and start designing. You become the kind of person who creates their own momentum, not because someone gave you a stage, but because you built one, not because someone gave you approval, but because you stopped needing it. People who are self-led don't need to be rescued. They don't hope for it. They don't even think about it. They adapt. They create. They adapt, they figure it out. If the mentor doesn't show up, they learn from books. If the investors don't come, they bootstrap and start small. If the support system is absent, they become their own support because they understand that the person they're waiting for is them. You need to become your own rescue plan, your own launch team, your own backup generator, because the sooner you do, sooner your life gets back in motion. No one is going to want your dream as much as you. No one is going to take the same level of ownership. That's not pessimism, it's empowerment. Once you accept that no one is coming, you're free. You're no longer waiting. You're building, you're moving, you're creating your own escape route. The illusion of rescue dies the moment you decide to stop depending on luck and start depending on discipline, on consistency, on action. When you finally let go of the fantasy that someone is coming to change your life, you open up to the reality that you always had the power to change it yourself. Expectation is one of the most oak forms of emotional sabotage. It looks innocent. It feels natural. You expect people to show up for you. You expect your friends to support you. You expect your family to believe in you. You expect those around you to treat you how you treat them. But the harsh truth is this: expectations are not promises. Assumptions built on hope, not reality. And when those assumptions crash, they don't just leave you disappointed. They drain your emotional energy, disrupt your focus, and distort your sense of control. You cannot build your life, your discipline, your peace on the shaky foundation of what you believe others should do. Should is a dangerous word. They should understand. They should be there. They should help. That word becomes a mental trap. It creates resentment when unmet. Most of the time, it will go unmet. Why? Because everyone is living in their own world, fighting their own battles, processing through their own pain. And not everyone sees you, hears you, or understands what you need. Not because they don't care, because they're not obligated to. The moment you tie your emotional state to what others do or don't do, you surrender your power. Think about it. How many times have you been thrown off track because someone didn't respond the way you expected? How much time have you wasted being frustrated, offended, or discouraged by someone else's silence, disapproval, or lack of presence? That's the trap. You're reacting to people who may not even know how much space they occupy in your mind. Emotional freedom begins when you release others from the job of meeting your expectations. It's not their job to believe in your vision. It's not their job to support your journey. It's not their job to applaud your progress. That's your job. You must become the one who validates yourself, the one who holds yourself accountable, and the one who maintains direction regardless of who's clapping or criticizing. When you stop expecting and start observing, everything changes. You begin to see people for who they are, not who you want them to be. You stop projecting your needs onto them and start building systems that don't collapse when they don't show up. This shift isn't about becoming cold or detached. It's about becoming stable. Because when your emotions are always at the mercy of someone else's actions, your peace is always on the edge of collapse. There is a difference between standards and expectations. Standards are internal. They come from values. You set a standard for how you treat others, how you show up, how you communicate, and how you lead. Expectations are often external. They demand that others match your standard. And when they don't, you feel betrayed, overlooked, or unloved. That cycle keeps you stuck. But when you let go of expectations and stay rooted in your own standard, you remain in control. You do the right thing, not because others deserve it, but because you do. The world is unpredictable. People are imperfect. Support may be delayed or denied. And if your peace depends on everyone playing their part perfectly, you'll never find real stability. Life becomes clearer the day you stop assuming people owe you understanding, time, effort, or energy. Nobody owes you anything. And that's not cynical. It's liberating. Because when you stop expecting others to fill your cup, you start taking responsibility for filling it yourself. You'll be amazed at how light you feel when you stop dragging the invisible weight of unmet expectations. You start to see people more clearly. You stop being hurt by things they never even agreed to do. You stop turning disappointments into identity wounds. And best of all, you begin to lead yourself with clarity because your vision is no longer clouded by frustration or blame. If someone supports you, appreciate it, but don't expect it. If someone celebrates you, be grateful, but don't depend on it. And if someone walks away, let them. You're not in this life to be emotionally babysat by people who may or may not understand your mission. You are here to build, to grow, to rise, and none of that is sustainable if your emotions are tied what people should have done but didn't. Free yourself from the emotional poison of expectation. Focus on what you can control. Lead yourself, be your own standard. Walk forward knowing that the most powerful version of you is the one who no longer waits for others to get it right in order for you to move forward. The greatest lies you've ever been taught is that everything you need is outside of you. That if you want to feel confident, someone needs to approve of you. That if you want to feel worthy, someone else needs to love you. That if you want to feel motivated, someone has to inspire you. And so you start chasing attention, applause, reassurance, recognition. But what you're really doing is outsourcing your power. You're making your progress dependent on other people's presence. You've forgotten that everything you seek is something you were built to generate, not just receive. You are the source, not the seeker. You are not here to beg the world to see your value. You are here to build it, to own it, and to express it. Confidence is not handed to you by the compliments of others. It is created when you keep your word to yourself. You show up again and again despite doubt, and when you earn your own respect. Motivation is not a lightning bolt from someone else's speech. It's the fire that grows when you commit to your mission, even when no one is watching. Is not something you must endlessly prove yourself to receive. It's something you give to yourself first through discipline, truth, and self-respect. When you forget that you're the source, you begin to believe you're empty, that you need someone to fill you up, that you need permission to feel powerful. But when you remember the truth, that everything begins with you, you stop waiting, you stop chasing, you start creating. You stop searching for people to make you feel alive and begin doing the work that makes you feel aligned. No one else can give you access to your own potential. That key has been in your hand the entire time. Most dangerous place to live is in the constant need for external validation. It might feel normal to look for signs, for encouragement, for feedback, but it's not sustainable. If your energy rises and falls based on someone else's approval, you'll never find stability. You'll be high when they notice and low when they're silent. You'll feel invincible when they praise you and invisible when they don't. That's emotional slavery. You weren't made for that. You were made to lead, to initiate, to decide who you are before the world gets a vote. This doesn't mean you become numb or arrogant. It means you stop outsourcing things that are supposed to come from your own character. You stop needing people to see your vision before you believe in it. You stop needing someone to clap before you take a step. You stop measuring your worth by how people respond to your presence. Presence is not defined by attention. It's defined by alignment. When your values, your actions, and your decisions are in sync, you don't need the world to tell you that you're enough. You feel it in your bones. Every time you wait for someone to give you courage, you delay your own development. Every time you rely on someone to tell you what's possible, you shrink your own perspective. Stop looking outward. Start looking inward. Everything you're chasing is something you have the capacity to generate. Peace, it's built through integrity. Drive, it's born from clear vision and daily action. Worth, it's established by how you treat yourself when no one else is around. You have to become the source of your own momentum. Because if you don't, you'll always be at the mercy of someone else's timing. You'll always need someone to come fix your energy, repair your self-belief, and light your fire. But the truth is, are inconsistent. Life is unpredictable, and the only thing you can fully depend on is your ability to meet yourself in the moments where it matters most. Being the source means you show up without needing a push. You move with clarity, not just emotion. You validate yourself with action, not applause. And most importantly, you learn how to refill your own tank, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, so you never run dry waiting on someone else to fuel you. You don't need to keep seeking something you already have the ability to create. And the moment you stop chasing from lack and start creating from alignment, you will become unstoppable because the world can ignore you, doubt you, even reject you. But when you know how to lead yourself from within, nothing can block your path. You were never meant to live small, begging for energy. You were meant to be a generator. And once you step into that truth, you'll stop seeking power and start becoming it. There comes a point in every person's life when they must make a fundamental decision, lead themselves or be led by others. That choice defines everything, your discipline, your direction, your success. Most people don't realize they're outsourcing their leadership. They don't see it happening because it doesn't always look like weakness. It often shows up as fitting in, following advice, waiting for a cue, looking around to see what everyone else is doing before making a move. That's not leadership, that's social dependence. And it's one of the biggest reasons people remain stuck. Self-leadership means you no longer need a crowd to give you courage. It means you don't wait for approval before you act. It means your values drive your behavior, not the trends, not the opinions, and not the noise of others. The truth is, most people want to be told what to do because it gives them someone else to blame if it doesn't work out. But when you become the leader of your own life, there's no one else to point to. You own the wins, you own the failures. And in that ownership, you become powerful. Social dependence is subtle. It convinces you that you're being responsible by checking in with everyone, getting permission, asking for reassurance, or waiting for consensus. But all it's doing is paralyzing you. You wait for the world to agree with you. Someone else is out there taking action. While you're polling 5 friends for advice, someone else is already creating momentum. Leadership is not about being the loudest. It's about being the clearest. You're clear on what you value, what you want, and what it's going to take. You don't need to be told what to do next. You do it. Self-leadership is not about being alone. It's about being responsible. It's not about rejecting support. It's about not needing it to function. When you're self-led, you don't collapse when people disagree. You don't shrink when people doubt you. You don't retreat when people don't get it, because you weren't building your life based on their understanding in the first place. You were building based on your own clarity and commitment. You don't build greatness by consensus. You build it by conviction. People may not see what you see. They don't need to. They're not supposed to. Your vision was given to you, not to them. Self-leaders know how to hold the weight of their goals without needing others to carry it with them. They know how to show up without applause. They know how to act without being asked, because they don't need to be reminded. They've already decided. If you always need someone to check on you, push you, or talk you into showing up, then your results are fragile, because the second those people disappear, so does your drive. But if you build your life from the inside out with your own voice guiding your steps, your own standards shaping your habits, then you become unstoppable, because now you're not moved by pressure. You're moved by purpose. Self-leadership is built in silence. It's built in those quiet moments where no one is around and you still choose to keep the promise you made to yourself. It's built when you show up even though no one else will see it. It's built when you do the hard thing, not for validation, but because your integrity demanded it. The world doesn't reward potential. It rewards followed through. No one can follow through for you. It's easy to depend on a team, a coach, or a community for momentum. But the highest version of you knows how to generate momentum on your own. That doesn't mean you do everything by yourself. It means your emotional, mental, and strategic strength doesn't depend on others. It means you're not waiting to be carried. You're ready to climb. You're not watching to see who believes in you. You believe in yourself and have to act whether anyone agrees or not. Leadership isn't a role, it's a responsibility. And the most important person you'll ever lead is the one you see in the mirror. Lead that person. Set a standard so high that it no longer matters who's around or who isn't. Build a mind so focused that distractions lose their power. Build a heart so committed that rejection doesn't break your rhythm. Build a will so strong that even in failure, you keep moving forward. Social dependence is the anchor. Self-leadership is the sail. Cut the rope. Raise your standard. Lead yourself, and the world will follow your example, not your expectations. The reason most people don't grow isn't because they lack talent. It's not even because they lack motivation. It's because every time discomfort hits, they reach for a crutch. And most of the time, that crutch is emotional. They lean on someone else to talk them out of their fear. They look for someone to validate their pain. They wait for someone to give them the push they won't give themselves. And in doing so, they rob themselves of the very strength they claim to want. You can't build strength by leaning on weakness. Every time you use emotional dependence to bypass discomfort, you avoid the reps that would have built your resilience. This is not a call to shut down your emotions. It's a call to train them. Because untrained emotions become excuses. They become escape routes. They become the justification for delay, distraction, and detours from your potential. But trained emotions become fuel. They become focus. They become force. Is a difference between emotional awareness and emotional dependence. Awareness means you understand what you feel and use it intelligently. Dependence means you hand your power to others whenever you feel anything uncomfortable. You run to someone to fix it, to hold your hand through it, and over time that pattern becomes your identity. You start thinking, I can't do this without support. And once that belief takes root, you stop trying to do it alone. You stop trusting your own ability. And that is where your growth begins to atrophy. Mental strength isn't some mysterious quality you're either born with or not. It's built the same way physical strength is, through repeated effort, through progressive resistance, through showing up even when it hurts. Every time you get through a hard day without needing to be rescued, you build a little more of that muscle. Every time you coach yourself through fear instead of collapsing into it, you level up. But if you're always looking for someone to talk you out of the pressure, to comfort your doubt, to carry your confidence, then you're missing the opportunity to strengthen what's weak inside you. There's no shortcut to inner power. You either train or you don't. And the people who become unshakable aren't the ones who never feel doubt or fear. They're the ones who know how to stand in it without needing a lifeline. That doesn't mean they're heartless. It means they're prepared. It means they've practiced. It means they've stopped avoiding the fire and started using it to refine themselves. You can't outsource grit. You can't delegate courage, and you can't rent discipline. These are things that must be built, not borrowed. Stop confusing support with dependency. There's nothing wrong with being helped, but when help becomes a habit, you forget how strong you actually are. You forget what you're capable of under pressure. You stop growing because someone else is always stepping in when it gets hard. The question is not whether you feel like quitting. Everyone does. The real question is, what do you do when you feel that way? Do you look around and hope someone saves you from the work? Or do you double down and coach yourself through it? Because those moments are the gym. That's where mental muscle is formed. It's not when everything is easy. It's when everything is inconvenient, uncertain, painful, and you still choose to show up. You are not broken. You are just untrained. And the way to change that isn't through more emotional comfort. It's through consistent mental conditioning. The voice in your head says, I can't do this. That's your cue to go to work. Not to silence the voice with distractions or affirmations, but to train it by doing what it says you can't do. You don't get stronger by talking about strength. You get stronger by doing hard things, often and on purpose. The emotional crutches have to go, not because you're not allowed to feel, but because you're done with needing to be saved every time you feel. You're done waiting for someone to pull you out of your valley. You're ready to start climbing, regardless of who's watching, who's clapping, or who's willing to help. Build the muscle, own the process. Stop making your growth dependent on how soft the landing is. You weren't built to be carried, you were built to rise. Train like it, think like it, live like it.